Hello. My name is Alicia McGuire. I am the wife of Micah McGuire, who is currently being incarcerated for a crime he did not commit.
All right, that's the wife of Micah McGuire. Her name is Alicia McGuire, and as you heard, she is the wife of a person that's in prison for a crime he did not commit. This is a PDF file that shows Micah's family and some information about Micah. We've put this up on Year of Jubilee. My wife brought to my attention Micah McGuire, and I wrote him a letter last week, and he wrote me back. And we're fixing to read our first letter from Micah McGuire. If you don't want to hear me read it, but you want to read it yourself, you can go to yearofjubilee.com. It'll have this at the top. It'll have the More button. Click on More and P3 Nevada. What that stands for is Patriot Political Prisoners Nevada. And we used to have Blaine and Pete on there, but they're now out of prison, so they're gone. They're no longer on the page because they're free. Praise Jesus for that. We now have Jason Patrick and Micah McGuire. If you scroll down, there's the letter that we're going to read tonight. It says Micah McGuire, October the 26th, 2017. So let's get to reading it. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. This is it. All right, he's in Pahrump, Nevada. And his address, if you want to write him a letter, I believe his prison address is on the homepage. All of these guys' prison addresses is on the homepage. Micah McGuire, right there. Nevada Southern Detention Center, 2190 East Mesquite Avenue, Pahrump, Nevada, 89060. So if you're ever looking for an address to write to these prisoners, they should all be on the homepage, with the exception of other prisoners. Other prisoners are not necessarily political prisoners, but all of their addresses are on their own page. We have to do the best we can with the resources that we have, and I'm not the best web administrator. I do the best I can. But let's get to Micah McGuire's letter. I wrote him last week and asked him some questions. It's from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's post-stamped October the 23rd. And here we go. Looks like it might be a, he may mail this out to a lot of different people. Micah McGuire, political hostage. It has been over a year and a half since my kidnapping by the federal agency known as the FBI. Since I have been housed and herded by fellow Americans who have claimed they are violating my rights. Let me read that again. Since I have been housed and herded by fellow Americans who have claimed they are violating my rights and assisting the criminal organization known as the federal courts in the District of Nevada simply because it is their job. I believe it was Walt Whitman who said, "Not all earthly occupations are heavenly vocations." Despite the obvious crimes against humanity that have been committed against average Americans, I must say the level of reinforcement received from others who have made it their duty to be involved and offer support has surely gone without nearly enough acknowledgement from myself. I have personally received at least one letter from every state in the United States. I have been sent drawings from children's of angels rescuing me and crayon portraits of me with my family. My heart has been warmed on many occasions with cards and letters that have shown support and let us know that not all of America has joined the flock of sheep or believed the government narrative against us. I have heard that members of my own family have condemned me and spoken ill of me. From a man who had 7 siblings, none of them have stepped up to help or even spend a decent amount of time with my children. That is absolutely heartbreaking. I would say it's common and heartbreaking. It's just sad to hear stuff like that. However, through the Patriot Mail Project and other sources, my wife has received assistance from complete strangers around the country. My kids got gifts from people they never met, and so much more. I could never offer enough thanks for such acts of kindness. My wait in this facility has been a stressful one, but it has been a time to gain knowledge. I know things now that I merely thought I knew before. I have grown wise in advanced stages that never would have been possible while I was on the outside. We have reached a time in this life, in this country's history, where we are experiencing dark ages. We are programmed to embrace a threat with violence, and our system teaches us vengeance. Only they call it justice. In all reality, it is vindictive at its very least. I was given a lawyer who was a joke, and then another who really just does not care. They are tell-you lawyers, not talk-with-me lawyers. They seem light years behind, and they continue to spit bullshit at me as if I am a child. My case is put together by myself and the team work of co-defendants. We are ready for trial but have not been allowed to see one. We are rocked by the traitors to this case who have lied and denied themselves the pleasures of defeating such a foe as the wicked prosecutors we face today. I believe Henry David Thoreau said something in Civil Disobedience about not doing anything at any time that would continue to feed the machine that is working against us. Shame should weigh heavy upon the heads of those who have lied and allowed ammunition to be piled against innocent men. Thankfully, a house of lies is as strong as a house of cards. We are coming to a point in this country where others will realize what has happened. The federal agents are programmed to fight a threat with weapons to kill and to punish. But people can gather and stand, peacefully protest, and reach out an open hand to men of violence who seek to destroy us and enslave. No bullet they could fire would silence the pain of an oppressed nation. When you are pushed into a corner, it is there that you will find strength to get out. My pack as a soldier was heavy, but the chains of a prisoner weigh so much more. I wish to thank, I guess he's a veteran, I had no idea. I wish to thank all Americans out there who believe this country can be saved and have prayed for that very thing and done more than they could to sacrifice for others and live, teach and learn in a way that would show this country deserves its freedom and will not allow it to digress any further. The job does not justify the deeds. Live a life you can be proud of, that your grandchildren will be proud of. All receiving this letter have my everlasting thanks. All receiving this letter have my everlasting thanks. I cannot possibly send enough of these out to reach every hand that has helped me, so please share my thanks and appreciation. May the wind be always at your back. Micah L McGuire. Second page. Shameless plug for promotion. If anyone out there can help me father with marketing of my 3 books in the Stronger Christian Soldier series, it would greatly help my family. The books are Bible studies available through Amazon and were written by myself here in detention. Any help to get the word out about these books would be much appreciated. Feel free to contact Jake Drake for further information. Since those have been sold, I have been writing a 2-part series of a fictional Christian story that will easily reach the hardest of hearts and are designed to teach your children and young adults about right and wrong, tyranny and oppression, and the moral teachings that we should all acknowledge. I wrote them with my 13-year-old son and my 11-year-old daughter in mind, but they will be great for adults as well. The stories are called The Crimson Soldier Saga. I hope to have them available by the end of the year into the next. The books feature an exciting journey of adventure that leads from peril to glory. Look for it coming soon. Thank you for all your prayers and support, Micah. And I wrote him a letter and asked him some questions, and I guess he's providing me answers to those questions. I am a Christian, yes. That's what my books are about. My message is clear. Justice is vengeance. All life has value. We need to love. I need to think very seriously about that statement. My message is clear. Justice is vengeance. All life has value. We need to love. Somebody needs to clarify that for me. If anybody knows Micah and knows what he can elaborate on what he means by justice is vengeance. I do pray for justice for the wicked. I think God is angry with the wicked every day. I know that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But I do pray for justice. I do pray for that. All right. That's an interesting. I need to think about that. Okay. I've never been to court, been locked up 20 months. That's insane. The Constitution says a fair and speedy trial. I read only King James. That's good to hear. He also puts in parenthesis, I read the Book of Mormon in here. I'm a little concerned about that. You guys know that I'm not a Mormon. I don't have anything in common with Mormons as far as their belief about their religious beliefs. I've done videos on them in the past, but even having said that, I don't want a Mormon who is innocent of the crime that he's committed to sit in prison. So I will advocate for someone of a different religious faith if I believe they're innocent. But I'm glad to hear he reads the King James, whether he's Mormon or not. I mean, I read the Book of Mormon, so it's not concerning that he read the Book of Mormon. I've read it too, but I don't know if he's Mormon. If you guys know, please let me know. I have a wife and 3 children. My wife is not computer savvy. She let the Save McGuire site expire. I asked him, how come Save McGuire site is not up anymore? And we need to pray for his family. I mean, I'm sure his wife with 3 children and the husband is gone. I'm sure she has an incredible load on her to raise those children. And I can't even begin to imagine the drama that, not the drama, but the hardship that she is going through. So we need to lift up his wife in prayer. You saw her at the beginning of the video, right? Her name is Alicia. I'm working on my case. I don't think it's safe to talk about it yet. Okay, that's fine. I would like to have help getting my biblical writings to the public. Thank you again. So you can go to Amazon, and also I sent him a card. The card that I sent him was this card here. Right? You guys see that? So I had Pete Santilli. So I've printed off thousands of these cards. And Pete Santilli is now out of prison, so he won't be on any future cards, but I have a lot of older cards that I still have around, and I sent him one. He says, I'm wondering why you have Pete Santilli on your card. Now, that's a little bit odd question. I'm going to have to write him a message back and say, well, it's an old card. I realize Pete is out of prison now. My understanding is Pete never did communicate with me or my wife. I think in the whole time I must have sent him, I'm going to guess, I don't know exactly. I'm going to guess 15 letters, maybe 30. I wrote him a letter with everyone else. Every time I wrote a series of letters to all the prisoners, I always included Pete. He never wrote me back, maybe once. Maybe he wrote my wife back once. But that's fine. He's got a lot of things to do in prison. I know he was focusing on a lot of different things. It didn't bother me one bit. Pete will decide how to live his life. My only advocacy for Pete was I didn't believe he should be in prison, regardless of whether I agreed with him on everything. But this question from Micah is odd to me. I'm wondering why you have Pete Santilli on your card. Maybe he thinks that maybe he's asking me that because Pete Santilli's out of prison now, but the simple answer is it's an old card. So anyway, Micah McGuire, if you go to More and P3 Nevada, you'll see a picture of his family. You'll see his prison address, and you can download the Micah McGuire introduction PDF file. This is a 4-page PDF file that tells you all about Micah McGuire. He calls himself a Christian. He doesn't refer to himself as a Mormon. And then if you want to hear his wife on YouTube, I'll put this link in the information bar as well. Matter of fact, I might want to put this video on the Year of Jubilee webpage so that I have it for later. All right, that's all I had for Micah McGuire. I pray that you lift up Micah McGuire in your prayers, and I pray that you write him a letter and let him know that we have not forgotten about him. He's not even going to go to trial until next year. He's been in prison over 20 months, and I don't know if he has bail or not, but I know that he must be going through some incredibly difficult times. It appears that even members of his own family have not supported him, and I hate to hear that. It absolutely breaks my heart, but it's not uncommon. We see that all the time. The Bible talks about that as well. The last line of peaceful defense between a tyrannical government and the defendant is jury nullification. Educate yourself about jury nullification at fija.org.